I unfortunately have to leave this lovely spot because I have no water, and I have to have water. As an organism, I cannot survive, and as a human being, I cannot wash myself. And you know, nobody needs that. So, oh shit, the tiller pin! Oh my god! Schoolboy error. Right. So to show it's a lovely mooring. The bank, there's like a deep hollow, a foot, 18 inches deep, I don't know, deep hollow behind the Armco. Why am I not moving? Get into gear, as I wasn't in gear. That was odd. I don't seem to be moving. Oh shit, don't tell me I've got a problem. Do not tell me I have a problem. Please. I'm not going forwards, guys. Try this again. Right. I can see some turbulence behind the prop. Yeah, we're moving now. I don't know what happened then. It didn't feel like it was in forward gear, and I didn't notice any turbulence behind the prop. Bit of a fright. I'll cut the prop because we're over on the other side now in the shallows, and there's all sorts of unsavoury foliage we don't want to mess with. So let's get clear of that. Just drift forwards a little bit and I'll get the revs back on. Yeah, it's props turning. So bit of a move, only a couple of hours move. I was going to stay here because Kevin is a couple of miles back, Kevin's mooring, and you know, I was going to hang out with him for a bit, but I've run out of water. Now I knew I was running out before I came here. The plan was fill up at Gifford Park, which is where I moored, but I got to the water point, you know, because I was close by anyway, and the tap was broken. And there are various ramifications for that. The obvious ones, I couldn't get a wash last night, so that wasn't great. I dared not wash any clothes or anything like that. I was going to wash a shirt, you know, so no washing could happen. It's kind of emergency only. And I rode back this morning to see if perhaps the tap was fixed, and it wasn't. The tap is not fixed. There's no water up at Gifford Park. The next one is about three and a half miles, I think, this way, at a place called Peartree Bridge. Yeah, so anyway, desperate times. I'm now searching for water, so I'm moving south a little bit sooner than what I wanted to, because I'm also moving further away from Kevin's mooring, so it's more difficult for us to hook up and like have a beer together, or, you know, go to one of the local cafes, about which he's very knowledgeable, to be fair to him. I've got a bit of a cunning plan, obviously, because the thing is, with that water point being out of action, it'll double the traffic at this next one, you see. And this next one is really slow. The boater I spoke to just this morning up at Gifford Park told me it was flowing about 2 litres per minute, and it's normally, I think, 10 or so. So he said there was a wide being filled up in front of him. It took 4 hours to fill its tank. So at that rate, there's going to be a queue. What that means is there's likely to be a queue, and that's where the cunning plan comes in, because the cunning plan is I've spotted some Armco, big long length of Armco on the approach. I'm going to stop before it on the big length of Armco, and I'm going to reconnoitre. I'm going to do a recce, and I think I'll make the move and fill up very early in the morning to avoid any queues. Well, yeah, some great mooring spots as you move through Milton Keynes. Really nice. The whole town, pretty much, is just really nice. And for a cyclist, for someone who gets around using a bicycle, it's just amazing. Like there are houses on that side and there are houses on that side. You wouldn't really know you were moving through a city, a sizable city as well. It's really spread out, and that's deliberate. There are parks everywhere, big parks. There are cycle paths and footpaths all over the place. You can cross this town without going on a road, or just, you know, maybe crossing a road. Pennyland boat basin. No fishing, no swimming. Oh, no turning either. That's a bit mean of them. Got to say, this is very original, this. He's made it look almost like a... Oh. He's built a sort of a cabin structure on the back, almost to look like a ship, part of a ship's superstructure, but a warship type one as well. It is nice to see these unusual designs. You know, you've got to appreciate the effort that people have put into these things. Surprisingly few boats moving. Don't quite know what's going on with that. This is a cracking spot. This would have been my next spot, the one after, but I think I'll make it my current spot. Just a shame though, it's just a bit too far away from Kevin for him to pop over and have a beer, or, you know, or conveniently anyway. Yeah, this is great. This is a cracking spot. It's full of boats, so there's safety in numbers. Mind you, this is a safe town anyway. This is such a safe town. It really is. Definitely coming back here. Yeah.
Nice guy for it.
It really is, isn't it? Yeah. So that GRP seems to be getting used as a sort of a floating storage unit. I did consider before I got the boat, I'd mentioned I'd considered travelling around and living in a motorhome or camper van. I really thought about it, and how I would have managed storage. I think here's the answer. I'm now going to tell like van lifers how to do van life when I haven't done it, but you know. And the answer is have a storage unit. Most van lifers, and I think boaters, have a sort of a collection of tools, you know. Some have huge collections, electronic, diagnosing gadgets and clamps and vices and different kinds of saws, power tools of all descriptions. So some have big collections, some have more modest ones. I think mine's about middling, but it wouldn't fit in a van. So I think the idea in a van is have a tiny, you know, essential toolkit, and then keep the rest in storage, along with spare clothes. Look, I've got to show you this, guys. Little family. They look like they're potentially a few days old, and I think they are, because there's still 2, 4, 6, 8, there's like 9 of them. And the tragedy of it is that within a few days they could be down to 2/3 or half that number, within a couple of weeks anyway. Here's another little spot opposite this, whatever this is, cruising club. Online moorings on this side. Gonna get just a couple of minutes. Thanks, folks. Cheers. Very kind of you. They've made the effort to make life less stressful, and I have to acknowledge their kindness, you know. No kind deed should go uncommented. That's the front of the boat. There. What a design that is. Isn't that amazing? Look at the superstructure of it at the back. It's got some sort of neo-classicness. It's super distinctive again. I wouldn't have it, but I'm glad that it's there. I'm glad that somebody's gone to the trouble of doing such an unusual design. Kevin's thinking about going cruising with me as well, at least for 20 or 30 miles as we go south, so that's great. Oh, yeah. Watch the dog.
Yeah.
Bye bye. So on the right, have Campbell Wharf Marina, Warbler on the wharf. I think there's a turning point somewhere here as well. Yeah, there it is on the right up ahead here. Some moorings. There's a bird I haven't seen. What is that? What is that? Mid to dark brown bird. Stood on the edge of the mooring thing. No solar though. And he was sat on the bank. I missed him, so he was watching me, talking about his lack of solar. Oh dear. We'll be passing on a bend. No, he's giving me plenty of room. None of that selfish nonsense from this guy. Fantastic. Boat feels like it's dragging a little bit. But fair play to that guy there. Really left me loads of space. So again, there's Armco here as well. I don't just go cruising, and pick a spot completely at random. I'll normally have a couple of likely spots lined up, especially if it's summer and it's going to be busy, a busy place. So we're approaching more the southern end of Milton Keynes now. We're still on the eastern sort of side of it, very much on the eastern outskirts really. But we are moving towards the southern part of it, the town. Very, very strange place, and not strange, that's the wrong word. It's very unusual. It is not your run-of-the-mill town, Milton Keynes. Quite often, I sort of look at the cars on these housing estates to get a feel for sort of what sort of people you might live there. and these are older, smaller, older, less flashy cars. So more working class perhaps. But, you know, none the worse for that. Bridge number's this. We must be getting fairly close now. This is bridge 86, okay.
Afternoon.
Hiya, mate.
Lovely day.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, he was a boater, the guy who said hello. I might have known. Young boater. Sometimes pedestrians won't always say hello, you know. They're not part of the boating brotherhood and all that. They don't know the rules. Anyway, enough of my homespun boating philosophy. I'm very close to the water point anyway. The thing is though, right, here's the thing. If I can moor close enough to the water point, I can keep an eye on it and make my move when it's empty. Hi guys. Guys, if you're stuck, what I find sometimes helps is sort of rock the boat from side to side as violently as you can and get your weight off of that side, and it might just come off for you.
Brilliant, thank you.
I'm sorry I can't help, guys, but yeah, try rocking the boat. I feel like they might be there for a little while, but I can't really help. Right, okay, so what looks like a line of boats is starting just ahead. Yeah, and then the bridge. So this is the place I'm pulling over. And there are also other boats after the bridge as well. So there's no chance of finding a spot if I go through. A bit of reverse. Can you hear all that? Feels like there's all sorts of junk and rubbish in the water. What a terrible, terrible stop of a boat. Absolute rubbish. Anyway. Right. Hi guys, you want to squeeze past there?
Sorry, running away now.
Oh no, not at all. No, I'm just hauling back. I want to, you know, like to moor the boat up, it's best if it's sort of flat like this.
Yeah.
When there's all these bushes and stuff,
Yeah.
it's sort of, I don't know, is it OCD? It might be a bit with OCD. I prefer it to be sort of like that, yeah. So, right, I think this will do.